We recently had a stem cell oriented doctor. I'm from a family of doctors. My cousin is becoming an orthopedic surgeon. He told me that within the realm of orthopedics, stem cell therapy has been introduced as the 12th modality of going about orthopedic medicine, which is a huge step forward in the world of medicine in general. And after talking to that doctor, what I realized is that stem cell therapy based research has gone the deepest when it comes to bones and muscles, but it's also evolving when it comes to the rest of the body. And I'd love for you to, again, break down the Western medicine angle on stem cells, but we'll continue our conversation and we'll talk about how your own human body is already producing stem cells in your bone marrow. And we're also capable of naturally releasing stem cells into our own bloodstreams. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. Let's take off from where we left off.
Yeah. So the reason why stem cells are gaining so much attention, because first of all, let's talk about what stem cells are. Stem cells basically are these baby cells that can turn into literally any other cell in the body. So they can become your hair, your liver, your heart, your joint, your muscle, anything. So imagine as a scientist, it's so exciting to say, why don't I figure out how to turn these cells into anything I want? If I do that, I can cure so many diseases. And that's exactly what we're trying to do. But the issue is, how do we control so that it doesn't become a cancer cell? That's the biggest limitation until now in the stem cell research is how do you prevent those cells from becoming cancer cells and how do you turn them into what you actually want? That's what's been the barrier, but we're really aggressively tackling it. And this is really the future, to be able to tap into our own body's ability to heal, to repair, regenerate at a capacity that we've never seen before.
Are they produced primarily in the bone marrow?
Yes, but they can also be found in other areas in the body. So, for example, the root of your hair follicles, liver, the fat tissue. So stem cells can be found in many other areas that makes it easier to harvest them. So sometimes the bone marrow is not the easiest place to harvest. So often we use the fat tissue to harvest stem cells. We separate them out and then we inject it wherever we do need it to.
Okay. In terms of orthopedics, what that doctor told me is that they pull the stem cells out of the bone marrow inside the hip bone because it's the spongiest bone and it's the most accessible. And then they inject it into the joint that needs help. So I have an ACL tear right now. I'm actually going in for his therapy in some time. And he told me that injecting it in the knee is not that painful. Shoulders also not that painful because the size of the joint is big. But if it's the spine or if it's your fingers or elbow, it can be slightly discomforting. But that's just limited to the realm of orthopedics. Parallelly speaking, we're talking about longevity here.
Yes.
And perhaps in 20 years' time, we'll be living in a reality where dermatologists are using stem cells for your hair, for your skin. Maybe lung doctors are using it to help people who've been long-term smokers rebuild their lungs. Gut doctors might be using it. Heart doctors might be using it. Brain doctors might be using them.
Of course.
Okay. Now, I will let you carry this conversation forward based on whatever you like. I would love for you to also speak about how you can generate stem cells to a larger degree within your human body and talk about the scientific aspect of that as well.
Yes. So stem cells love to go where they're needed the most. We often don't even have to direct it. The problem is, how do we activate it? In order to activate the stem cells, we sort of have to do what the yogis did. We have to orient our body in that direction. So if all day long I'm stressed, watching TV, eating heavy foods, my body's capacity is just focused on how do I do this? How do I manage the stress, break down the food I'm eating? It doesn't have any time for detox, repair, for stem cells. So that's one of the reasons why in Eastern medicine, Ayurveda specifically, we talk about if you want to activate the stem cells, you have to reduce all the other noise. You have to save your body's energy and attention and refocus it in the right direction.
In a very practical sense, sleep a lot more.
Yes, all the opposite of what we normally do. Rest, restoration, and another big part of this is actually fasting, right? Our digestion takes up so much energy. So by fasting, whether it's you're avoiding food or you're eating very, very simple foods, you conserve that energy that can be shifted into detox. So that's one of the main things we do in Panchakarma. In the Ayurvedic detox, is first step is simplifying your diet. You're eating things like khichdi, you're fasting longer. So you save that energy and tell your body, use this for detox, repair, and regenerating the stem cells.